Hey everybody, I'm here at Lexus and the Western Union headquarters where I asked for a little bit of teamwork, network, and cohesion a little bit last week. I just want to show you as quickly as I can, and I'm trying to make this video as quickly as I can, trying to throw all this together to be very easy to digest, but also just understand the complexity and the speed at which I have to move. So let's say I want to be successful tomorrow by signing up on a job through a work app that I'm only able to do because I was actually able to sign up with it with a social security card when I had one before I got robbed, before I've already replaced the 7th, I think, one. So if I'm going to actually do this job tomorrow, which I just found out from someone that I'm staying with, that, yeah, be encouraged. There will be someone here when you get off around that time. Like, those kind of things you got to check for. You know, it changes all the time where your location is. We're going to look at pictures before we get into the actual going to complete the job, the journey I would take, and all the things I have to think about. I wanted to just take a look at two snapshots here. The first is going to be pictures of me in 2023 in West Virginia, my memory association of them, what happened, and then we're going to look at pictures of me of the last 7 days, just to compare the two worlds and the two alternatives that I have. All right, so on the very first picture on the left there is a picture of me the last day I was at the cabin that was new to me. I'd never been there before, and I'm reorganizing the pantry, which was pretty disheveled, and we actually added some items that we bought with my Snap card. It was the last night I was actually ever there, because the very next day we decided to take me to where my dad and I had stayed before I had ever lived in Colorado at all, to the house that he had abandoned 9 months prior. This middle picture is me kind of smiling, looking at a free SUV. This was a Subaru Outback, I think, or I'm not sure the model make, but it was a Subaru that needed $3,500 minimum worth of work before it would ever run again. It was one of the 3 free SUVs. I was in this house with no transportation. There was an SUV there. There was another man's SUV there, but I didn't know who it belonged to. Very peculiar. Next, let's just look at a picture of how the whole house looked and felt. It was abandoned. It was over 100 years old. My dad wasn't living there anymore. He had already been to this other place for like 9 months. The general message I want to tell you is, living in that house with no transportation and no water there's no love here. There's no progress here. Everything good that was going to happen already happened. All right, moving right along, let's go to the picture on the far left with the orange hat and headphones. That's me at 4:27 a.m. in the Lakewood area at Colfax Avenue, about to get on the train. The next picture, the daytime in the train, is me charging the cell phone. The charger only works with a real outlet. You cannot find those in most places when you're homeless. But these trains, which were only going to the airport, or in the north section of Denver, technically, they are only available for free during Fare Free Month, which is now over. It was only available during the months of July and August. I will not be likely to be on those much more often. The next picture of me at the lake is what I did immediately following. I literally walked from rehab to that lake when I decided not to go, because the only competent adult there basically had to tell me straight up, we can't actually offer you any housing resources that are available, that are not already available to you. And it just kind of means wait lists and things like that. Sober living facilities, they had no extended knowledge on anything like that I'm not able to get right now. I won't go into the challenges with those. But they also did not know what time dinner was. I did not feel that the place was very safe or that knowledgeable if they didn't know how I could store dinner, if I could store dinner at all, what time it would be, if they cooked it, if we cooked it. None of those questions, we talked about them. We talked about the answers, and they didn't know how the answers. The next picture, and anytime you see me at the Apple store, it's very much like a bookend moment. It's like I have kind of completed, like Sonic the Hedgehog, like all these 37 million things I was doing. And here's just a check-in with like the world's best phone camera. I'm always taking the picture with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So this was the day, earlier that morning, I had dropped the phone into, I think this is probably Friday morning as well. So it's probably the same day actually as the picture with on the far left. But this was the day that I had Apple take a look at my phone, and they told me within 2 days they didn't expect the phone to work at all. Now, miraculously, it has. So what you actually saw on Facebook earlier this week was I was freaking out. I actually absolutely had to freak out, and I had to kind of raise an alarm. Hey, if I don't have a connectivity, no progress of anything really happens anymore. Like, I've already been there because I've been kidnapped and I've been left without a phone. I actually came across this country without a phone so I can maintain my phone number. Now, let me go into, if I was to go to a job tomorrow, what all would be entailed and how complicated that actually would be. Okay, going back to one of my last really great days, it was when I was at IHOP on the other side of Colfax, different from the one where we were just talking about at Lakewood. This is the other end, one of my favorite places in Denver, and I was feeling really good this day and feeling empowered and wanting to work at IHOP just because it's close to the VA hospital and feeling a really good environment there. Also went during the nighttime, and then I felt a little less inclined wanting to work there. But let's take a look at a position that is actually at Regis University in another section of Denver. This was what was available on the InstaWork app, and I got the notification, and so then I consulted with the people I'm staying with. Hey, I want to try to work this job, and they were like, go for it. So that's when I could put into the planning and like, okay, how to actually, where's the job? What kind of uniform do I need? Because I don't have any, real clothes really. What do I need to do, and how do I get there? Okay. I don't look at maps or anything. I'm just going to show you the actual step-by-step directions on how to first leave where I'm staying at this hotel and arrive to the Denver Rescue Missions Ministry Outreach Center, where I can possibly obtain clothes for free. Hopefully they'll have what I need for this uniform. Let's say it is, let's not even get into the details of, it's too many to keep track of, but I need to actually leave here at 9:12 in the morning in order to get there at 10:27 a.m. And I believe it's going to entail a train ride and then a bus ride. Now, I want to let you know, most of these places, if there's a connection from a train to a bus or anything like that, I may never be there again, and will likely be my first time ever there. And yes, sure enough, this is actually a 7-minute train ride and then a 30-minute bus ride, followed by just a really quick, I think a 1-minute wait for a transfer for another 6-minute bus ride. That is just to get to where I would pick up the uniform for free that I've never been to before, but I do know they close at 11:30. So I would actually get there at about, I think 10:27. Then I would only have a few minutes to actually get what I need for the very first time, never being there before. And let's go ahead and proceed, okay? Before I get any further into the next step on this journey tomorrow, I want to just remind you all of this information that could possibly change. For sure, there could be delays. I can miss something. We don't know what happens, but what definitely has to happen is the cell phone has to be charged. And now I just want you to understand, this is why I'm talking about the importance of charging a phone, and having a phone that works is so essential, because I can't navigate around this city. I don't know every bus route and everything like that. I have to rely on lifetime data or something close enough to it in order to get where I'm going. And if it's 7 degrees outside and it's the last train of the night, that's when you really need to have a phone that works. So this position is event staff. It's probably special events or something. It's from 1 to 10 p.m. Now, to actually arrive there, I would have to leave the place where I'm getting the uniform at 10:50 a.m., giving me only 23 minutes between the time the bus stops to when this bus actually picks up, takes me to work. And I would get there at 12:09 p.m. Now, I just typed in general at Regis University. Where exactly on campus I need to be for this job is very important information that I will be definitely expected to have and be able to attain to. I've never been to Regis University, but I would have to be able to get there and do it properly tomorrow. So I would then take a 32-minute bus ride, have a connection, and proceed from there. All in all, I think it's 2 connections just to get there, and then I arrive at 12:09. So hopefully I would have plenty of time to find out where exactly it would be on campus. I'll also already check to see if I can get there a little bit later, and I can't. In order to get there before 1, this is the only way. Okay, so I did go ahead and slide into the route home, and I just kind of allowed that because I'm making this video as fast as I can. I'm going to tell you at the end how long it took me to make this video. Then I'm going from, let's say I got up at 10 p.m. I have 34 minutes to arrive at the bus, and then it's going to be a 40-minute bus ride, a 1-minute connection, and then a 21-minute bus ride. Altogether, you're looking at 1 hour and 40-minute commute from North Denver to South Denver after I've already spent the entire day, pretty much right from when I wake up at 7 or 8, to getting the uniform, being successful at the job that I've never done before, learning everybody's name or whatever kind of specific information is important to know. At that job, it's only for this is a 1-day job, I think. I think there are some that are 4 or 5 days. I think the most I've seen would be 8 consecutive, shifts. And then the job's over. So that's how this new Millennium app-based gig economy, if you're not a driver, you can also be working with InstaWork. This is kind of what you're doing. And this is exactly what I did when I worked at that Pepsi place, a distributor in Aurora. So as you can see, it would take all day long, and then I would have a 1 hour and 40-minute commute just to go back to where I'm staying temporarily. That's well, it would take for a payout on this job is $144 and some change. I would get it early as like next week. And after like 3 or 4 of these assignments, I might be eligible just to start having, pay like same day. But I have to actually be successful at this, and it might be at more than one place. And I might have to do it within 30 days. So that is all that is required for me to be successful if I want to make money tomorrow. Do you think you could do that? And can you be ready for a completely different kind of day the very next day? And can you expect to also have accommodations magically provided for free that are safe and that they could change at any time? I have had accommodations change up to 3 times in one night. That is why I'm asking for help. I also want to tell you I only have 8 bus tickets that are only available for 3 hours. This is supposed to last me the whole month. I will get another set of 10 bus tickets for 3 hours only in October. So I have to be successful. It's going to also cost me probably 2 bus tickets tomorrow just to go to the job. So if anything goes wrong, if I lose a ticket or I get on the wrong station, or if there's any sort of snafu with that 1-minute transfer, I'll have to look for the intersection and know pretty quickly, very quickly, which bus and which direction I'm looking at. And I'm going to be at an intersection I've never been to before. Now, mind you, I've already done this for 362 days, and today's the day where I'm saying, I need help. Like, I don't think I can keep doing this. Winter's coming. Nothing's actually gotten a lot better. But look at the complexity of just going to work for one day at a new place tomorrow. So, hope you understand, this is why my life moves extremely fast. And this is why I know nobody can really keep up, even the people that really want to. I just want to thank you for listening. And maybe now you understand a little bit about how hard it is to overcome homelessness. In order to make this video, which is actually between 11 and 12 minutes, it took me about 33 minutes to make the entire video. Here I am back at the location of the hotel. I just took a quick walk to start the video in a different location near Western Union to kind of have a symbolic point of I really needed a little bit of structure when I asked for it. And I think maybe now people are understanding, oh, wow, these are all the things I have to do. At least that was the case. But I just got a text from my caseworker at one organization, and they said they can meet me at 12. So I'm going to probably forgo everything I just told you so I can make that appointment, because it could lead possibly, I don't know, to something a little bit more of a stable housing situation. Where and any details I won't find out until tomorrow. So that's just how quickly things change. I listen to housing solutions would be like a godsend. That would be like the best miracle win. What's more likely is he may have like a clothing voucher there I could also use at multiple different places, like different Goodwills, and not have to go to this one place that's for free on this one location. So I have a little more flexibility, but I have to go to the appointment if that's available, and I don't know unless I go. So this, I think I'm pretty sure I forgot to tell you, but this is critical information that you need to know about the whole possibility of being successful tomorrow. I did register for that job. I was actually waitlisted for it, which means I'm not already scheduled. They might want me to do it in the morning. So all of the planning and everything, I won't actually know if I'm doing this until tomorrow morning, but I'm going to that appointment that was more important that I prioritized. So I might be penalized on the app because I said I would want to do it, and they said I had to be waitlisted, which means they kind of take priority. This is kind of like Ronald Reagan and the new millennium kind of like joining forces against the common man. You can't win. Oh, just kidding. This video is not really over. I thought of one more thing. And you see how like, look, you thought you were complete, but you're not because something just changed? Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for a very important reason. I'm going to hold, I don't really do this very often. I almost never do this, because I think it's important when your father goes to January 6th and he thinks it's a peaceful protest, and your mother does, and everybody else does, and you're like, wait a minute, no, it ain't. That's just kind of like what I went through 2 years ago and started worrying about being homeless. But this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my posts from like the last 5 days. I'm going to actually make them private, and I'm going to hold them for 3 days. So the only posts that you're going to see are posts older than 5 days. The post with the video, the YouTube video that I did with my family. And then there's going to be this post. So these 2 posts should get maximum priority, and I'm going to hold them for 72 hours. I'm going to gauge a response to see if anybody's able to kind of tell, yeah, things happen and they move super, super, super fast. And Nate tries to get it out in live time. I really do. But it's still too much. It's blurry and you don't understand it. And that's why, like, I know whatever you're thinking of me, it's just not, it's not really current, and it's not really the full story. And so you just don't know what to think. I get it. All right, so I promise this is going to be the last thing in the video. So if you're watching this, you're almost at the end. What I've decided, this is a picture of me turning 35. Never actually got to celebrate turning 36. It just wasn't available because I was homeless. When I turned 35, I was already on a budget and scared to death about being homeless, and I kind of knew. I wanted to go to Mount Evans for my birthday, but instead I just went to the lowest point downtown I could find, which was this fountain. It was kind of like a, just to show you how long things have actually really kind of been out of sync with like what I intended to do, what I want to do, and what actually I end up doing to survive or whatever. This is me just kind of feeling rebellious and being like mad at the world, and like, I'm turning 35, but it's just kind of like, well, relax, it's me, I got it. So that's what this picture represents. But what I want to tell you, closing thing, and this is kind of how I'll like ask people, oh, did you watch to the end? What I'm thinking about actually doing to kind of combat this whole living 4 times faster and every 6 hours for me is 24 for you kind of problem is, I'm thinking about actually just doing like a couple days at a time, a little video of like, here's me in the last 2 days. It's already all happened, so here's what's up. I think that might be something I'll try. That's something I'm thinking about doing now.